What up, Nation? Welcome to another edition of the WiseTake MLB DFS Wise stream. CK013 here. You can find me on Twitter at CK_013, and of course, I'm from the WiseTake Nation, which you can find on all the social media platforms listed above or directly at WiseTake.com. If you're looking to take your DFS game to the next level, we are a premium DFS content provider as well as a DFS community designed to help make you a better DFS player. Go check us out. Day Pass is available. If you're new to this channel, you've come to the right place for some free fire DFS content, so make sure you subscribe. Hit the notifications bell. Don't miss out on any of the free content we put out covering MLB right now. Covering slates Monday through Friday, meaning we stream Sunday through Thursday night. So don't miss out. Join in on the fun. As usual, hit the like button if you could. Leave me some comments, man. I'd like to hear some feedback. I'd like to hear back from the nation. And hopefully we get this YouTube chat rolling live. But regardless, I still want to see some comments for the majority of you that watch after the fact. All right. That being said, real quick, before I hop into this, quick shout out to the Knicks, man. As a Knicks fan, it sucked watching the Atlanta Hawks just dominate, and hats off to the Atlanta Hawks, man. They dominated the Knicks. They were the better team, and as much as it sucks to admit, and in the heat of the moment and during the fight, you're not gonna give up, you're not gonna surrender. But once it's over, you gotta man up and say what it was. And the Knicks were dominated, pretty much from start to finish. They were lucky to win Game 2. And so shout out to the Hawks and shout out to the Knicks though for even getting here, right? This is one of the worst teams in the league last year. Weren't working with a whole ton of talent and made things work. Now we'll see what they do in the offseason to build. All right. Pat, what's going on, bro? Pat says, got here on time, was checking on Dallas Clippers. Yeah, man. Luka looks alive. Luka Doncic looks alive right now. That's the last thing I saw before I was like, all right, I gotta flip into baseball mode again. But yeah, Hawks had their number. It's funny too, Pat, because the Knicks won. I'm pretty sure the Knicks won all 3 games during the regular season. I mean, regular season don't mean shit. It's playoff, right? Different type of situation, but thought that was interesting. Shout out to that coach. Everybody went crazy when they fired what's his name in Atlanta, and look what this dude did. McMillan. Shout out to him. All right. Anyway, I'll hop into some baseball action. I don't even think I finished my prep. I think I kind of just, oh boy, this should be fun. All right, we'll start with top pitchers. So this is going to be a brief one. So looking at our pitchers. So obviously Yu Darvish, right? 30% K rates, kind of got everything going for him. Really good looking Sierra. XFIP, all that good stuff. We don't have a lot of good pitching. If you look at Darvish and then Lance Lynn kind of pops out, who surprisingly is the 4th most expensive pitcher on DraftKings. But if we take a look at Darvish's matchup, the Mets currently have a 91 WRC plus, a 295 WOBA, 125 ISO, 23.3% K rate. They are starting to get a little more healthy. But I mean, again, I say this as a Met fan, it's just you got to push that shit aside when it comes to the DFS. And Darvish is your cash game SP1, and it's not close. I think that Darvish will be very popular. Maybe you can consider leverage on a small set like this if you want to on the offensive end, but I think at least in cash games, Darvish is a clear standout. And then Lance Lynn's the other one. Not looking as dominant as he did last year or even the last couple of years, but he's playing Detroit, who I realize Detroit's been very pesky. I'll acknowledge that. They've been very pesky. But they still have a 27% K rate to righties, only a 147 ISO and a 297 WOBA, 89 WRC plus on the year. Park is small, though, right? I mean, this game is in Chicago. Park is small. After that, it's a bunch of guys that you can maybe take shots on, but you don't feel great about. Taijuan Walker, I guess you could add to this list, but the Padres are a tough offense, right? My biggest issue with Walker, and you could argue the same about Lance Lynn, but it's really the regression kind of lurking, right? Walker's never pitched this well for this long. He's playing a good team. His ERA is significantly lower than his xFIP, his Sierra. batting average, balls in play extremely low at 218, so you get a little nervous about that kind of stuff. But again, you could argue the same for Lance Lynn. I think the only reason I'm not attacking Lance Lynn with that same rhetoric is, number one, he's playing Detroit, right? And number two, Lynn's pitched at this level for a little while, right? Not that into Wainwright. Nothing against him. I just don't like picking on Cincinnati. Although if I was going to do it, it's going to be when they're on the road, right? You're not really going to do it when they're at home in Cincinnati, or at least you're not dying to. But I don't want to discount him. It's really the price. 9-8 against a good offense, or at least a decent offense. And that was it as far as guys that sit out for sure. We do have a couple guys we can get into for, or at least, I guess a couple guys we can get into for the what to watch segment. As far as top offenses go, number one, my eyes get drawn to the Zach Davies numbers. I apologize for the yawn. Shit's hit me like a ton of bricks right now. I don't know why. But Zach Davies, 4.65 ERA, 5.57 xFIP, 5.8 Sierra, only a 12% K rate. This game is in San Francisco, which could be a saving grace. But if we look at the Giants' offense, let's find them here. They do have a 27% K rate, but they also have a 182 ISO, a 313 WOBA, and a WRC plus of 100. So I think Giants definitely pop out to me. I'm always looking to attack Davies, not interested in pitching him. So the Giants kind of stood out to me. The White Sox are interesting. Casey Mize has pitched fairly well, right? We got a small park, though, and it is the White Sox. Pretty potent in offense, right? They're kind of interesting. I'd love to attack J.A. Happ, but that would have to be with the Royals in Kansas City. Not the most ideal spot. And if we look at Kansas City, only a 21% K rate, that's all fine and dandy, but a 128 ISO, 291 WOBA, 84 WRC plus. So not super exciting. And that's kind of what this slate lacks, is that general excitement for both pitching and offense. It's just a bunch of mediocre matchups. St. Louis will get a crack at Vladimir Gutierrez, who was rained out. I don't mind taking shots on them. Again, not a great park. I think the Brewers against Duplanter is kind of interesting. It's going to be somewhat of a bullpen game, I would think. Park's Milwaukee. It's not the decent hitting park here, right? Chris Bubick, me personally, I'm looking for that regression monster to hit him hard. He's probably got the one. He's probably the one that shows signs of the most regression coming. A 1.52 ERA, but a 4.69 xFIP and a 4.9 Sierra with a 19% K rate. Playing a Twins team that does have a 25% K rate against lefties, but a 190 ISO, a 321 WOBA, and a 106 WRC plus. I like the Twins. I don't like the park, but I do like the Twins offense. So there's some interesting ways to go. As far as things to keep an eye on, Eliza Hernandez is expected to make his return from the 60-day IL. I think he threw upwards of 70-something pitches in his final rehab start, but he got rocked. He had like 5 Ks, but he gave up like 7 runs, 6 earned, or some shit like that. It wasn't pretty. He's one of the better pitchers. He's playing Pittsburgh, a lower-end offense, and he's relatively cheap for the upside. I would imagine he's going to have some sort of a pitch limit of around 75 pitches, maybe, something like that. But that's something to keep an eye on, and also to see what kind of form he's in. Griffin Canning gets a matchup with Seattle, one of the weaker offenses in the game. He does have a 25.9% K rate, so if we're looking for lower-owned type pitchers, he's somebody to keep an eye on. Interesting situation. Tyler Anderson, we can argue the same point for. He's playing Miami, right? This Miami team who has a 28.2% K rate against lefties, a 158 ISO, a 299 WOBA, and a 92 WRC plus. So another pitcher to kind of keep an eye on when you start getting a gauge for ownership and deciding what chalk you want to play, what chalk you want to fade in tournaments. He's a name just to kind of float around in the back of your head. So it's not like a pretty slate. I haven't looked at the early slate. Maybe I want to get down on that because it's not the prettiest slate. But there's, you got to make lemonade out that bitch. Like I used to say for KVO last season, right? Lemons into lemonade, my friends. Dong watch time. Time for me to pick home runs. So I think this, to make things interesting, instead of just giving 3 random players, just to make things slightly more interesting, I'm gonna try to do I want to say like one infielder. We'll do one infielder, but then what? I'm an outfielder. I guess I'll do, yeah, okay. So one infielder, one outfielder, and then the wild card can go either way. Just the guy that I think is gonna hit the home run. And say fuck it, right? Just to add some sort of diversity. At least it's not the same shit every day. And I'm going with let's go Miguel Sano for the infielder. I know he's been terrible. A couple people reached out to me on Twitter and talked about how a couple of these players have just been killing them every time they play. I know. But I'm going with Miguel Sano against Bubic. Looking for that regression monster to hit. Next, I'm going. Oh, I got to pick an outfielder. Next, at least. That makes things interesting now that I can pick an outfielder. Boy. I did it to myself, though, right? I could tell Marte. He's listed as an outfielder on DraftKings. I will take that. I could tell Marte as the outfielder. And for the wild card pick, Tommy Edman. I was gonna say Tommy Edman back to back, but then I realized I'd be 2 infielders in a row. I didn't want to do that, so I'll go back to Tommy Edman against Vladimir Gutierrez, and that is going to do it for a very brief edition. I mean, these shows I try to keep them moving. I try to keep them on the go. I realize that it's a first look show. We got a lot to get through. I just want to put ideas into your head, get you thinking, quickly, so you can make your decisions, quicker. Anyway, Nation, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me as always. Leave me some comments. Let's go. Hit the like button on your way out. For myself, the entire WiseTake Nation, as always, good luck.